Hi, I'm the Iridium. Hope everyone's doing all right. So I'm going to do top 10 Thin Lizzy songs. So someone's messaged me and said, could you do Thin Lizzy top 10 songs? I thought, well, I did the Thunder and Lightning album track ranking the other day. I thought, yeah, why not? Let's do Thin Lizzy. There was a big part of me growing up, although I caught up on them at a later stage. They was first around, the first album came out, I think, in 1971. So I was 1 year old. So obviously Thin Lizzy came later for me. And that might probably explain, on that video I explained that Thunder and Lightning is my favourite album. It probably was mainly because of my age, when I first heard that and I was 13. And then I went back and listened to the rest of the Thin Lizzy catalogue. So sometimes the first album you hear from a band is the favourite one because it holds a memory when you first found them. It's like these tracks I'm going to rank right now, these top 10 of mine. It's not going to be everyone's top 10 because it's just a personal thing. One of these tracks could be the worst song everyone else thinks is the worst song they've ever done, but it's personal to me, so I think it's the best song they've ever done. Just saying. It's all opinions. All right, so that's it. So I've got 10 and some honourable mentions as well. So I haven't listened to Thin Lizzy. I've listened to them on and off on a shuffle, on a playlist. But as far as listening to all their albums, I like to go back and refresh myself. It's been quite a while on some of the albums. So without further ado, this is 10 to 1, 10 being my least favourite. And of course, these 10 tracks are all great tracks for me. I must say that with Thin Lizzy as well, they really knew how to pen a good single. That some of their songs released as singles were some of the best. But not all mine are singles, but I'll just put that out there. I think they were really good at that. And some of them standout tracks were the singles from the albums. Okay, my number 10, Do Anything You Want To, from Black Rose. So I love this because Thin Lizzy sometimes can be really fun to listen to. This is that song. Twin lead is just amazing from Thin Lizzy. I think they are just perfect at it. And there's a certain twin, that's a sound. When they do a twin lead, there's no one else like it. It's got a real groove to this song and it really puts a smile on my face. Really inspiring lyrically. This had Gary Moore on this album. So Gary Moore and Scott Gorham doing the guitars. Just an amazing fun song to listen to, it's one of them songs, even if someone hasn't heard this song, this is sort of with most of Thin Lizzy songs, they're straight away noticeable. Whether it's Phil Lynot's voice, even the music on its own, they had that certain sound which was so different than anyone else. Do Anything You Want To from Black Rose is my number 10. My number 9, Killer Without a Cause from Bad Reputation. He's a killer without a cause. So this one had Scott Gorham, Brian Robertson in on the guitars. I love the riff that kicks the song off. Sort of odd time signatures, in those verses, which is quite cool. It's sort of stop-start, which is a very cool sort of sound. I love the southern rock parts in this. So this has got sort of lots of sort of different elements to this song, like within the song. And it gives you them different feels throughout the song. Absolutely amazing. Killer Without a Cause is my number 9. My number 8, Borderline. So I love this. This is from Johnny the Fox, Scott Gorham and Brian Robertson again. A real southern ballad. I love southern music, so that's probably why this one really appeals to me. Man, he paints, Phil Lynott painted some great pictures lyrically and musically as well. There's a feel throughout this song which is just so cool. Great guitar leads as well, breaking off in this song. A brilliant song, Borderline. One of those more deeper cuts, I suppose. Number 7, a bit more of an obvious one, I suppose. Emerald from Jailbreak. So I love it when this song actually kicks in. The drums are just brilliant. Brian Downey does an excellent job throughout all this music. You know, what a great drummer. I love it when the about a minute 45 when the song sort of changes up, goes into that different riffing. It's amazing. Then that twin lead part with just the guitars where it breaks down completely, just the two twin lead guitars and the bass, then goes back into the song. Emerald is a stone cold classic. What a song. My number 6, Hollywood, Down on Your Luck from Renegade. Nobody give a damn when you're down on your luck. So this is Snowy White and Scott Gorham on this one. Great riff going over that bass line. And that bass line is just outstanding. Phil Lynott doing that brilliant thing that he does, near enough talking through the verses like he's done in so many of his songs. What an amazing tone to Phil Lynott's voice. It really takes me back, this song, to my childhood. I can remember this song. Like I said, I'm not sure if I heard this straight away or I went back, but what an amazing song. Twin lead over this, the unmistakable Thin Lizzy twin lead. Hollywood, Down on Your Luck is my number 6. My number 5, Waiting for an Alibi from Black Roses. So, out of all these songs, this is probably the most nostalgic for me because I remember this single. I remember I think my brother introduced me to Thin Lizzy only through having this song on a single. Gary Moore, Scott Gorham on this one again. It just brings back so many memories. I remember on the single there was like a cover and it had like a cartoon, a black and white cartoon of the band, and it had like loads of little bits going through the cartoon. It was a story. Love the break-offs in the twin leads again. Absolutely amazing. Waiting for an Alibi is just, as soon as I hear it, I'm transported all the way back, you know, when I was about 11, 12 years old. It's just amazing. My number 4, Killer on the Loose from Chinatown. Oh man, this caused a lot of grief, a lot of shit. This is when this was released, Yorkshire Ripper was just like all over like England, terrorising women, killing people, and this was really controversial. That lovely heavy riff. Phil Lynott's sort of shouty vocals, like really aggressive on this, a little bit different, which is really cool. It needed that aggression because there's a killer on the loose, obviously. He's like absolutely mental. I love the breakdown when he's talking. He does that like demon voice. I remember when I was younger, it used to shit me up a little bit, this song, but what a great, great song. Killer on the Loose is my number 4. My number 3, Cold Sweat from Thunder and Lightning. So obviously this is John Sykes, Scott Gorham. Amazing guitar work, really heavy song, you know, a bit of a different direction for Thin Lizzy, you know, coming into this era. And I really wish we'd heard some more from him, obviously. You know, Phil Lynott passing away was just terrible, but this gets me really excited thinking about what would be to come, you know. And I know this is not everyone's cup of tea, Thin Lizzy fans especially, who've been with them for years, but like I said, it's just a preference for me. So Cold Sweat is just really heavy. The guitar solo is just amazing. It's real guitar heroics. Man, you can't go wrong with this song, man. It's just mental. I absolutely love it. It's just an amazing song. Brings back, again, so many memories for me. Absolutely brilliant. Cold Sweat's my number 3. My number 2, from the same album, Holy War. From Thunder and Lightning. So, oh man, that melody before the singing comes in, that oh, it's just mental. Chorus is amazing, solo's amazing. I love the bass through this song. I mean, when we think of Phil Lynott, I think the most amazing thing about him probably is he painted a picture lyrically first. Amazing songwriter in general. I think bass, sometimes we sort of, although we know, obviously all know he played the bass and sang, I think sometimes his bass playing was underrated. And sometimes it really drives a song all the way through it. Absolutely amazing. Holy War is my number 2. And that leaves my number 1. And that's Angel of Death from Renegade. This is Snowy White and Scott Gorham on the guitars again. Really cool sort of synth intro at the beginning, and then that gallop, man. That galloping bass line, and then that galloping guitar that comes in over it. This is really heavy. Phil sort of spitting out those lyrics. A real epic feel to this song. You know, this sort of goes hand in hand to me with Holy War. It's got that real epic sort of feel. I love the cool, quiet breakdown before it goes back into the song as well. Absolutely amazing song. Angel of Death is my number 1. Let's run through a few that nearly made. This nearly made it. Honourable mentions, if you like. So, Still in Love With You. I've got to say, though, a lot of these older songs on Live and Dangerous, they were just propelled so much more than the actual studio recordings. And that goes with a lot of bands back then. I think their live albums were just so energetic, so much heavier. They actually sounded better half the time than the studio versions. And now that's just weird because that doesn't really happen that much anymore. But I think that they was, especially Thin Lizzy, on these real early albums, I think that they're Live and Dangerous. And even later on, I think it was it their last album, their last live album, which was Life, I think. Even that gave out some brilliant versions of some of these older songs. Anyway, so Almost Maids, or honourable mentions: Still in Love With You from Nightlife, Suicide from Fighting, and Spirit Slips Away, also from that same album. From Jailbreak, title track and Cowboy Song, love it. From Johnny the Fox, Rocky, love that song. Don't Believe a Word, also from Johnny the Fox, and Massacre were great songs. From Bad Reputation, Soldier of Fortune, that nearly made my list, that one. Chinatown, title track, and Genocide, also from Chinatown. They're my ones that I was toying with for going on the list. But man, they've got a great catalogue. I hope you enjoyed my top 10 Thin Lizzy songs. Obviously, remember, this is just me. This is what I like. It's no one else's choice. It's not the most successful. It's not what everyone else thinks is the best song. This is what I think. All right? So no one get in the ump with me. All right? So I know that Thin Lizzy fans are very passionate, and no wonder. You know, they're an excellent band. But if you just want to put your preference or your opinions down the bottom of what's the best songs, put them down the bottom. But this is just me. All right? I know you're probably going to say, well, you're an idiot. It doesn't matter. These are the songs I like. I always have done. That's why it's my top 10 songs. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed the show, and I'll see you next time.